for joining. Now, we're all here to help to raise money for Rainbows Hospice for children and for young people. And it's one of those things that when we're in the lockdown and things are feeling a little bit, we might not necessarily think about other people. So this for me has been something very important. There are people out there who need our help, need our support, and this is a perfect way to do it. Now, we have got a GoFundMe page. So if you have a look, I think it's in the link next to it. If not, I can put a comment in there so you can see. Bear with me. I'm new to all of this, so there it is. There it is. So there's a link there for our GoFundMe page, and we're trying to raise as much money as possible for the Rainbows Hospice. It's a fantastic charity. It's a fantastic cause. So please, please, please do donate as much as you can. Now, I've been asked to do a bit of a workshop for you. Now, my workshop will be taking place on the 30th, which is Saturday, and it will be at 5 p.m. and it's going to be about crystals. Now, I was asked by Marie to maybe do something to do with crystal healing as a beginner's course, but that's something that would probably take an entire day. So I'm going to tell you first of all a bit about my background. Hi. I'm Lara. Amongst other things, I am a gemologist and I'm also a crystal healer as well. I've trained at the GIA, which is the Gemological Institute of America, and I've also trained at GEMA, which is the original gemological course and society in the UK. I am a fully qualified member of the FGA as well, and I've got a love of gemstones that spans, don't want to say how many years. You never want to know how many years old you are, but a long time, a very, very long time from when I was a child. And that's when my parents took me to Castleton, and they took us to the Blue John Cavern. And it's the most amazing experience that anyone can ever have. If you've never been into a cave before, Speedwell, Blue John, all of those, amazing, just go. It's an eye-opener. And I fell in love with gemstones from that moment on. I was always drawn to them anyway because of their sort of spiritual side and the healing side. So for me, it just became kind of the obvious progression to then go down the scientific route and start looking at the gemological side. Because for me, I kind of wanted to know, well, is there something in science that can quantify and qualify what people have been saying for many, many years? So we could be here all day, but I've got 15 minutes to give you a brief introduction. So my course is going to be about not just gemstones. We're going to think you already have your gemstone. We're going to think about the fact of working with them in a crystal healing context, in a meditation context, whichever context you want, but it's how to work with the crystals. So on the 30th at 5 p.m, I will be going over how to choose your crystal, how to cleanse your crystal, because that's something very important. If you think about it, crystals have been in the ground quite happy in Mother Nature, doing their own thing, sitting there thinking, what am I going to watch on Netflix tonight? Or not. And then all of a sudden they've been ripped out of the ground and they've been taken away from their home environment, and then they've been set into jewelry, or they've just been sold on a shelf. So it's a very different environment. You think about it, every stage that that crystal's gone through, it's going to have a bit of an impact on it. And that can impede on the vibrations that the stone has. It can increase maybe negative energies in the stone. So it's always a good thing to cleanse it. So I'll go over a few of those ways of doing it. I'll also then go on to how to attune your stones to yourself. So you have your own vibrations, you have your own energies. And it's really important to realize that so do the crystals. So if you want to work with them, whether it's for yourself, whether it's because you want to help somebody else, or whether you just want something that's going to be nice and feel calming in your environment, then it's always good to know how those two energies work together and to attune them to each other. So that's the other thing that I'm going to do with you. And then I'm going to do a small meditation. So this is one of the attunement methods that I use when I'm working with crystals. So it'll be a little small meditation. So if you do have a gemstone that you want to work with and you've not yet attuned it, then please do join me on that date, which is the 30th, which is a Saturday at 5 p.m. And also, I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions either now or later. You can just message me and inbox me. And please, please, please do help this amazing charity. It's the Rainbow Hospice. And it's just going to be a fantastic environment. It's going to be really calming, really soothing. You can have your friends come along if you want. Well, you can't. No, you can't, because we're in lockdown. I keep forgetting these things. Invite them on Facebook. Do that instead. Invite them on Facebook. I'm sure my daughter, hopefully, will join us. I'm joined today by my cat, who is very quiet, actually, at the moment, down below. I was expecting her to be a bit noisier, but she's been very good. So any questions about gemstones, you can ping them to me beforehand. You can contact me here through my little Lara Wardlow. Message me directly and I'll try to answer them on the day. I've got about 30 minutes to 45 minutes thereabouts to go through everything. So as you can tell, I do talk quite quickly, so it might be a little bit shorter, but I'll pack as much in as possible. So if you do have a crystal, make sure you've got it and have it with you on the day. It will be really nice to be able to go through that process. Cleansing is really important, as we've already gone over. Attunement is really important as well. And hopefully, if we can do something more with this in the future, I'll be able to bring you more information on the background of the gemstones as they are, because they are fascinating. Not only is the metaphysical side and the idea of them having vibrations. Vibrations is one of the things that a lot of crystal healers tend to work with. But for me, looking at the scientific side as well, if you look at the chemical structure of the gemstones, there's actually quite a strong link with what they're supposed to help with. So for example, lepidolite is a great example actually for this one. So lepidolite is a gemstone that is often used to aid anxiety and depression. One of the chemical compounds of lepidolite is lithium, which if you've ever been on antidepressants or calmers from the doctors, you'll know that lithium is one of those properties that they use within different medications for that purpose. So it's quite interesting to see that kind of common link. And also something like a crystal, a quartz, a clear crystal, so a crystal quartz, which is a very strong silica-based gemstone, and it has fantastic clarity. Now, quartz has been renowned throughout time to have these vibrations. So anyone tells you that gemstones don't have vibrations is wrong, and quartz is the perfect example. Quartz has a very strong vibration, and the reason the vibrations happen in a gemstone is down to the molecular level. You've basically got your protons, your neutrons, and electrons. You've got electrons whizzing around. Now, they're wanting to connect with other of the molecules, and they're wanting to bond, and it's that different transition between them that starts to cause that wonderful reaction, and that's where the vibration happens. Now with something like a quartz, that vibration is quite regular, just like a clock, which is why you get quartz watches, because that exact amount of vibration is a second. It counts as seconds. So there is really strong evidence to show there are vibrations in gemstones. There are quite a few elements of the chemical compounds that do come into play, and it's really fascinating. And for me, as a lover of gemstones anyway, and for someone who absolutely adores working with them on a daily basis, whether that's in jewelry, whether it's just making yourself feel good because you're wearing an amethyst, or making yourself feel good because that chrysocolla that looks amazing is going to be on your finger today, or whether it's a selenite crystal sitting in your daughter's bedroom because she's had nightmares and to cleanse the room. So that's one of the things that I have done. I've got a huge selenite crystal, massive shard. Selenite is a gypsum based crystal, so it's quite fascinating. It's the crystalline version of gypsum, and gypsum in the UK, one of the biggest industries for sort of the jewelry industry itself is gypsum, and that's mined in Derbyshire, of all places. Some of the finest quality gypsum in the world is in Derbyshire. So that's something to be very proud of. And that actually goes to jewelers around the world who make up these casts of ring mounts or of necklaces, and they make the molds, and it's the gypsum that they use as the molds. And that forms really precise detail, and it allows the hot metal to then be poured. Wax goes in first, and then the hot metal to be poured in to create these fantastic casings for your rings and your gemstone jewelry. It's so interesting when you find all of these different elements. I'm kind of losing track and just gabbling now, but I can talk about gemstones and jewelry all day. It's a fantastic subject. So whether it's that you want to, it's selenite, that was what we're on about. So selenite is a cleansing crystal. It's one incredible crystal. Sometimes it's associated as the angel crystal. It's very beautiful. When you see it, you actually get sort of a chatoyant effect over the surface. So I've got a selenite heart, which I'll show you. I'll try and dig it out, and I'll show you on Saturday. And when you look at it, the optical effect that you get on it, because of the way it's all formed in lines, is you get the light just going over the surface in this most incredible display, and it looks like a cat's eye, which is why it's called chatoyant, because chatoyancy, chat is cat, and it's all to do with the optical effect. It's one of those subjects that if you get it and you love it. And you can love the gemstones because they look pretty, or you can love the gemstones because you have a connection with them, or you can love the gemstones because you know they have amazing qualities. Whatever the reason, we're going to come together on Saturday at 5 p.m. to have a chat. I'll go over those different elements of choosing your gemstone, the cleansing your gemstones and crystals, and attuning your crystals to you. And then we're going to go through that little meditation, so it should be nice and calming. So get yourself a quiet space, maybe light some candles, get yourself a nice tall glass of cool water, and join me on Saturday. It's going to be fantastic. And please, 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 please do donate whatever you can to this fantastic cause. Have a look in the information on the side. Fingers crossed I've actually got it in there, because this is the first time I've done this, so I don't actually know. If not, I will put another post up after, or I'm sure, I think Marie's joined us now. Hi. I'm sure she'll post the link to the GoFundMe page as well. And let's see if we can make a difference and make some people very happy. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. It has been an absolute pleasure. Join me again on Saturday. It's going to be the full thing then, and it will be so nice to see you. Let your friends know, let your family know, get them involved, choose that crystal that you may already have. And if not, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because there will come a point where you can choose a crystal at any time, and it may just be the right one for you. So thank you very much for joining me. Support, like, and share, and hopefully I will see you on Saturday. Love to all.